Hello, everybody, welcome back to interviews. Today, we're talking about episode 6 of Black Torch. I've been holding up on Black Torch for a goddamn long time because I missed two episodes, episodes 4 and 5. I didn't cover them. But anyway, I'm already here. So let's go to episode 6. How was it? Episode wise, it was a good episode. It was an amazing episode because I think it played off the themes of last episode because in this episode we had two backstories. We had Ragou's backstory and we had this guy's backstory. Like his backstory made me somewhat understand him, but I still don't care about him that much. Like he's just to me, he's just there. Like I kind of understand his motives for like hating what's this hating Momonoke's why he wants to be strong and why he's joining Black Torch, but like I still hate him because of the thing he did in the first episode. It's not that I hate him. I just find him. I don't know. To me, he's just there. He's just a person who's there. He just exists in the show. Anyway, I had like a thought. I, I kind of somewhat knew what the like the test it was going to be like when each of them was like sent into like a separate what's this dimension. I won't say dimension, probably a separate dimension. Anyway, when they were sent into separate paths and then they kind of showed who's this. When they showed each guy's backstory, I kind of realized, oh, there was this the main mission of there was this the illusion realm is probably to face your fears, face like a dark past of yourself. And with each guy, it was the her backstory was about her becoming what's it stronger, and her overcome. She wants to become strong enough to take up her family name and be able to kill the Momonoke that turned her mother into a stone. For Reiji's backstory is kind of like different. Reiji had like a brother. This guy right here. Reiji's brother was, I would say, was better than him in everything. Like I think fighting wise, but Reggie said that he was better in everything. But we only see them spar, and Reggie's brother is going to be the next head of the house, and Reggie kind of understood that he had to be like better, he had to be competent because he's the next head. And Reggie didn't hate him because he didn't even hate him for that. He looked up to his brother, like he wanted to be just like his brother, but like the more you kind of the more they interacted, the less Reggie kind of stopped trying as much because like in his mind, subconsciously, he kind of realized that whatever he did, he would never actually surpass his brother. He wouldn't be able to do that. So I wouldn't say he stopped trying, but like he didn't even try to like compete with his brother. He didn't hate him. He didn't like distance himself, but like he stopped doing his like pushing himself to the limit. He kind of started doing the bare minimum because subconsciously he realized that no matter what he did, he will still be, he won't be as good as his brother. So yeah. But the turning point for the backstory is, when we talk about the ritual way, like you have to tame a sword. And what's so good about this sword is like it it's it's a sword that has a Momonoke sealed within. It has power and a Momonoke sealed within. There was this the ritual to become the head of the clan is basically taming the sword, which I want the sword. Like I don't know, like I've had this thought and I really do like I'm planning on buying a sword, not like a real sword because look at me. I don't trust myself with a knife. How can I trust myself with a real sword? Probably like a somewhat fake sword or a plastic sword, preferably, but like one that looks like a real katana, but like not real. If you get my drift. Anyway, Rachel's brother failed to tame. That was his failed to tame. That was this the Momonoke inside, and it's not because she was strong. I feel like because each generation of head gets to do this ritual. I feel like was this Reggie's brother, once it was his time to do the ritual, the Momonoke was, probably stronger because it was sealed inside. I doubt it was like a seal which diminishes its power because it had to grow stronger. So I doubt. So it was like probably like the sword got stronger and his brother couldn't handle it because why I believe that his brother is not as weak as there was this kind of what people might think is this scene right here. This scene, well, this is like a turning point where like he asked Reggie like to get stronger and kill him, which he didn't kill Reggie, but he killed the other. But I think it's like a partial what's this integration where like he has some sanity but not a lot of sanity because he killed everyone. He didn't kill Reggie because and he told Reggie that he wants him to kill him because he's his brother and he believes Reggie will be able to do it. So that's why it made me think that the Momonoke is strong, but I doubt it's strong enough to actually fully possess him because he still has some sense and some reason. Because if he didn't have any, he would have killed Reggie in the process. Yeah, he did kill the father, but like the father, he was we didn't know much about the father, so I have no emotional connection. I have a somewhat connection to Reggie, so that. But like I feel like he's like since he's his little brother and like he spent more time with him, so there was that connection that kind of jogged him back, but not for long. So like Reggie's main goal in life right now is killing his brother who is somewhat possessed by the Momonoke. Like I said, I think it's a partial possession because I feel like he can take control, but unlike the was the possession Rago and and Jiro have where like it's a mutual contract where each person has something. This with Reggie's brother, like it's like the Momonoke is trying to possess him, but like Reggie is stronger than it was this belief, so like it's not fully able to like devour his soul and incarnate the type of thing. So right now we're trying to get stronger, and it kind of brings us back to like this fight, which fight wise I feel like the illusion realm didn't portray like the brother's strength because Reggie was able to even like I'm not saying Reggie is weak, but like this should be considered like the strength that the brother had while he was saying or probably like a few years 2 3 years back, maybe a year maybe two, I don't know, but like I feel like the was this isn't portraying like the full strength because this is a memory of Reggie, so like I doubt it's portraying his perspective. So I feel like once they fight for like a real fight, once they fight, that will be generational. I want to say that I hope the lost is the manga because we know the manga is cancelled, but I hope we get to see the fight because I think it will be a good fight. And the next one was Ichika, overcoming her past because her mother was literally turned into stone. Her father, I don't know why her father had made the decision where like he didn't want to tell his daughter until she grew up, but like she was training to become, was this an enforcement of someone who kills the Momonoke, and she was qualified. She was joining up a team, and her father thought it was a good time to actually like tell her that yo, your mother isn't dead, but she's alive. She got turned into stone, and that Momonoke is still alive. Like we don't know what kind of Momonoke it was. We don't even have a clear image of that, but we're looking for it. I feel like Ichika's Go is somewhat the hardest because we don't really know what it looks like. Probably the father does, but the father hasn't showed us the face. We know what happens, but we don't know what it looks like. How we don't even know how strong it is because like anything. We just don't know it. The process right now is we have little to no information on the Momonoke side. Like last episode, a Momonoke put up to a headquarters that is run by the government. What's this? Anyway, which is run by the government. It was like sitting there for a couple of hours waiting for Jiro and Rago, and was able to like enter and block it. So like yeah, they can, the organization can detect Momonoke, but like some there's stronger Momonoke probably have a way of hiding themselves. So we just need like a clue, information, a way to like detect Momonoke. They're probably working on that, or a way to like find the one that kind of did that to Isha's mother because we know she's alive. Okay, like okay now, how does it feel to like be a stone statue for like so many years? Because each was probably like no 5 or 6 when she was this, and now she's probably 15 or 16. So like so many years standing to a statue. What would be the first hypothetical? What would be the first thing I do once I get up? I probably I probably want to sleep. Not want to sleep, but I probably want to have like a good meal, like it's some to eat something because I'll probably be very hungry. So I just want like I don't know. I don't know what to eat, but like I'll probably just get one of my favorite meals, just line them up and let me eat. Don't even talk to me. You can talk to me, but like I'll probably won't even respond. Anyway, let's talk about the last and final, backstory, which was Raghu's backstory, which I was shocked about the backstory because because the obsidian the we know Rago was shot by the obsidian, so like I thought he was shot because it was like a strong Momonoke, a strong person from the human side who was able to stop Rago, but like turns out he wasn't him. Anyway, let's talk about his backstory. So Rago was a somewhat god, not a god, because we know Rago has like a kind personality, but like to these people he was a god because Rago just chose to like stay there. And since Rago is like the strongest Momonoke right now. I don't know if like there are other Momonokes who are strong as Rago, but for now we know Rago at his peak right here was the strongest Momonoke, and having like the strongest Momonoke back in your village was a benefit to the point where like in its industry itself it said how many villages were being attacked, but since Rago was there, most of like the Momonoke didn't dare to like actually go there. So like it was, I wouldn't say it was a gift giver, and like Ragwe is a kind person, so I doubt he didn't like expect much, but like he got like a friend, this guy, he was a friend of Rago. I wouldn't yeah, he was a friend of Rago. Even Rago, this episode made me realize Rago is a Sundari. Like even though he was like saying like how he didn't want the guy to come back, but it you can tell from him like he really killed the interaction. Like I think this interaction Rago had with this guy was probably the highlight of these days, which it was kind of sad when I saw him die, because like I knew he was going to die, but like it was just an unexpected death, like it was just out of there. And then we meet Amaji. Okay, I know he's the main villain, but like, God, do I like his character design right now? He has so much, or especially when he unleashed his Momonoke, was this form? He was cool. Like each Momonoke, when once the kind of okay, everyone in this show has like really good character designs. I think the was this the others art style? It was really good. Anyway, we have Ameji, which I would say he's how would I describe him? Mm, I won't say psychopath. It's like he's a supremacist. Like he believes that Momonoke should be above every person. Like humans should be lower and Momonoke should be high. To him, to Amechi, humans are like are like pigs to us. Where like you kind of slaughter them. You care, but like you really don't care because like it's food. So that's his interpretation of humans. But like I feel like if that happened to us, if it was on a human side, we probably figure a way out, because things that talk, that can physically talk. I feel like I wouldn't like if a pig could talk. I probably wouldn't eat it because I would feel wrong and disgusted. But like he doesn't have that. He said that Momonoke should eat humans and humans should just take it like good little guys. That's his thing. But now since this is the era when humans started creating cores to like fight off the Momonoke, and since humans, I wouldn't say was stronger, but like they had numbers. Momonoke, they had numbers, so they were good. And the emperor of the current dynasty was training up a core, so the public will be stronger. Anyway, his main goal right now is asking Ragu for his help, because like I said in the last episode, episode 5, it kind of talked about how Ragu is somewhat of a human battery, where like most Momonoke kind of ran out of power, but Ragu has like an infinite power. I think that's what he said. But so he wants Rago's help, and Rago doesn't really care. He's not on the human side. He's not even on the Momonoke side. Rago specifically said that if was this the humans come, he would kill them, but he doesn't. He just doesn't really care. He'll take care of himself. But like I said, this guy is a supremacist, and they're bound to be other Momonoke who are there. Like in this episode, it kind of talked about how there were other Momonoke who joined on the human side. Was this for you is like a really good example of this, because she is a Momonoke, but she is on friendly ties with humans. She did, I I think she doesn't eat humans. So like, there are Mamanoke, who are friendly with humans, and there are humans who are willing to take up Mamanoke because the strength in numbers and having powerful Mamanokes at your side is better than having none without your side. Anyway, so he, like I said, he was a supremacist. He didn't believe in any of that. He wanted Mamanoke on top, humans on the bottom, which he kind of ended up doing like a depraved thing because he ended up killing Ragou's friend, and like I said, that was his like I would say that was his closest, that was his friend before Jiro, like that was him, and ended up killing. He probably slaughtered a lot of people at the past. I feel like he killed the guy, so like Ragou who didn't have any ties to the village, but Ragou being Ragou, he got freaking upset, and he ended up spiraling out of control. And I thought this would be a somewhat close fight because Amiji is like a friend of Ragu, but this I would say it was a slaughter because in one breath attack he was able to destroy Amiji's forces. But I feel like if they meet again, it probably will be a close fight. We'll probably lose because Ragu is contracted with Jiwe. He doesn't have he barely has even enough power right now. So I because he was about to be killed by a low ranking was this Momonoke in episode 1, so he doesn't have his full strength. So we'll probably lose a good battle if we fight him right now. But like it just shows how big the power gap was before that whole thing was this from the him losing an arm, bleeding, another breath attack he would have died. But Rago, I would say I have a qualm with him because one, okay, I from the point understand Ragu, like Ragu didn't want to pick side. He didn't care about the humans. He didn't care, like the only human he cared about died, so he literally didn't care. He didn't care about the Momonokes because his friend one was he killed the person he only liked. So for him, he really didn't care. So he suited himself up, which at first I was like, why didn't he kill that was this Amiji because Amiji was this, but he like he even said during the interaction before when they were friendly terms, he didn't really care that much. So what happened happened. So he sealed himself in the obsidian stone. You know, I don't know how many years it been, but like he sealed himself. So I was very shocked. I was like, oh wow. Like my mentor was like, oh, there must have been like a human on our side who probably was strong enough to seal was this Rago, but turns out Rago is so powerful that he just sealed himself because they didn't care much. Anyway, episode wise, it was an amazing episode. It's setting up future content, future fights that we're about to see. There was this like Jiro and his no wait sorry Reggie and his brother. We have HK and the Momonoke who did that to her mother. We have Jiro and Ameji. It's setting up future battles, and we still have that one guy who attacked us in episode 5 who's still roaming free. We don't know what happened to him, but episode wise it was a great episode. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm Hunter and Capiche? No, I'm Hunter and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.